this morning, everyone. We're so happy to be here and to celebrate you today. You know, last week we had a conversation, and we're going to continue to talk about that conversation today. And when I think about it, our topic is our hearts are full of gratitude, appreciation, and thanksgiving. And when we talk about this subject, it's all wrapped up in there together. So we're happy to be here today. My name is Leslie Montgomery, and you are tuned in to LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. Let's get started. Maybe it's a good day. So, as I was saying, something is off here. Uh, I'm just grateful to be here today. On Leslie's Lessons Learned, we get the opportunity to talk about several different things to help people transform their lives and to help people understand that life is worth living. You know, when I look in the mirror, and the other day I was like, I'm going to stop looking in this mirror. But when I look in the mirror, all I can see is the things for me to be grateful about, things for me to be appreciative of, and things for me to be have gratitude about. And that's life. And I want you to know today that your life is worth living. You know, I was thinking about this week, and one of the things that came across my mind was people that were abusing themselves, hurting themselves because they feel like life is not worth it, because they feel like they've just done so many wrong things that they're not even happy with themselves. Nobody loves them. Nobody understands them. And I want to encourage those that are in that space where you just don't want to live anymore. Keep living. But I just don't want you to live and exist. I want you to live and thrive. And today, Apostle was going to show us or talk to us about how that can be done. And when you get into that position and you begin to thrive, you begin to live. And when you begin to live, you can begin to operate in your purpose. Your purpose can collide. I just like that saying from Howard with your destiny. So we're so grateful that Apostle is joining us today. But last week, we did not say what we say every Sunday. But before we do that, Minister Wanda, take a moment, share, put your mirror up, share with us. And, you know, everybody doesn't know you and everybody doesn't know me. So give us a minute and just talk about who you are, what you do, and give us a mirror moment.
Good morning, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Wanda L. Floyd. I am a licensed hair care professional. I am a hair loss practitioner. I am an educator, trainer. I help those in the beauty industry who need to learn more about business, whether they are students or industry professionals. I'm a minister, mother, and I am just happy to be here. But when I look in my mirror this morning, I see growth and appreciative of the growth that life's lessons have taught me. There was a time when the lessons would kind of shake me and break me and cause me to break down and doubt Yahweh. But when I look in the mirror this morning, I am learning. I see a woman who is learning how to give Yahweh thanks in all things. And even though you might be shaken a minute, because sometimes we do get shaken a minute, um, I know how to go to his word and pull myself up by his bootstraps. So that mirror this morning is showing me growth.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, Minister Wanda also has a broadcast that she does in Sunday evenings at, well, and yeah, 7 hour time and 4:30 your time, right? And it's less. It's a spinoff from less. No, what is it?
Is we gonna talk about it with Wanda, which is a spinoff from Have a Seat in My Chair.
Okay.
And we were doing them every week. I think that we might begin to just do them once a month, have a great topic and do them once a month. And if I can just put this there because it was an excellent program. The last program that we did was caring for a loved one with Lewy body dementia. And I think it's worth everybody going to check it out. So go look for that on my YouTube channel. It was an amazing interview with Ms. Paula Frazier. So thank you for that, Ms. Frazier.
I don't know what that was. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we welcome you today again, Apostle. To us, you know, we know you, but a lot of people don't know you. Apostle is the pastor of Darash Kingdom Ministries. I'm gonna try to get. Hey, Alicia, and he's also. Uh, I'm. Let me. I need to read it without trying to think about it. So. He is also a minister. He's also in ministry, B.W. Jones, Apostle B.W. Jones Ministry. He's faithful and sits with 10 feet down, 10 toes down. He likes to tell us that. Um, so you can see him. I don't know if the preceding word has it started back up or was it just temporary?
We are still probably the preceded word.
Okay.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Yes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the daytime around 1 o'clock or so.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You can see him on Wednesday nights. We have Bible study. On Thursday night, we have the Bible book club. And on Fridays, we have pop up in the evenings, which starts our Sabbath. Then on Saturday, we are in our Sabbath study and sometime as a group and sometime personally, but it's so powerful. And today, which is called the Morrow After Service, he'll be on during our Sunday service. So Apostle B.W. Jones, we're so happy to have you here. And we're grateful that you take time out of your busy schedule to be here. So before I turn it over to you, two things I want to do. I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the women out there. Some women it's not so happy for, and we pray that this year would be a year that is different. And I also want to say what we say every Sunday. A world without me is like a world without color. And for those of you that can't say it, let me say it for you. A world without you is like a world without color. We need you. And we want you to realize that your life is important. Apostle, you were here last week with us and had some technical difficulties and
Some? We can call it some.
some.
My phone, this conversation was so hot we was having, and my phone literally overheated, okay? And told me, we will not play no more until you cool me down. That's what my phone said to me.
Well,
I don't know why Siri is so rebellious.
right. I don't know. I don't understand. But we're glad to have you back this week. I said I was going to turn it over to you. We said this week that our hearts is filled with gratitude, appreciation, and Thanksgiving. But I want you, if you remember, to kind of talk about last week. We were talking about just being in His presence and what that was like. And you were feeling this. Well, I don't have to talk much because you could just run with it. So I'm going to turn it over to you and kind of let you run with it.
Which direction we going? Which way do we go? We going
We're going.
feeling. Which way we going? You got a
We're
fresh.
going both.
I'm getting
Because
older.
it all ties in together.
I'm getting older these days, so I need to have some kind of
Some
direction.
direction. Minister Wanda's like, what? But
Don't let that man run. We'll be here all day. Don't give him the microphone. You know you don't
right,
get to the
right.
No.
We already know.
Before I do anything on your program, Prophetess Leslie and Minister Wanda, I will say this. I'm compelled every holiday of man to understand the origin of the holiday. And if you know anything about me, and to those of you who are viewing across the world and across these platforms that this program is available to, it can, when you're trying to get foundation for a thing, it can become offensive, though that's not the intent. It is, as opposed to offensive, just informative for proper forward motion. And society does this wonderful thing of making it about us. We have a very unrealized and misunderstood value for selfishness, where we take all glory away from the Father for something he's already done. And then we label it as something we need, as if we discovered it. And though it may appease a great deal of emotional gratification, it doesn't put us in an appropriate situation for Elohim's sanctification. And that's not the won't he make you clean inside, but the sanctifying, the stabilizing of who you and I are. And so as a counselor, I find that we have adorned ourselves in these particular holidays and allowed for ourselves to become dependent upon them to add value to us or meaning to us. And conversely, put ourselves in a position that without it, or it not being as it was introduced to us, we pain at something lacking from the way it was introduced to us.
Yeah.
So today, many mothers and sons, many mothers are mourning their mothers, and we're remembering mom today. Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. As the world has set forward and as we go forward, there is no day on the planet you shouldn't be grateful. See, I don't have a mirror. Let me see. I don't have no mirror. Let me turn my camera on reverse and see if I can be like y'all. Let me see if I can. Let me
look at yourself. Tell us what you see.
I see a black screen, child. Black screen. Ain't nothing going on in there. It's just a prop. It's just a prop. But let me say it this way. There is not one day as a man who had to depend on his mother and mothers that I am not grateful, thankful, appreciative of the directions and the portal of life they provided. And so we've made it a whole big, boofy, happy, bubbly, balloony thing. And I don't say this with any disrespect, but Mother's Day should be every single solitary moment you wake up and you see that woman, you think about that woman, you think about your grandmother. I've lost the matriarch of our family of 97 years. Hardest thing we had to deal with a couple of months back. And I've lost my spiritual mother, Apostle T.R. Malone, some years back. That was very difficult because they were really impactful in my life. And I still have my beautiful mother today, who I'm going to call. She promised to beat me up later, but that's what she just do. I mean, she just did that since a child. She gonna do it since I'm gone. But they've always been there for me. And unfortunately, more than the men in my life, biological and marital men of married fathers by marriage and by biology, and that's just the culture we developed, just like the culture we've developed around these holidays. I want to make sure that we always, Leslie's lessons learned, Minister Wanda, let's talk about it, and VW Jones is the proceeding word. All that combination comes together to explain Elohim's intention. And the intention of Elohim is for you to know that that which a mother does had been and is ordained by the Father to be done. And you can't have a life of a new baby or a new human, as Elohim has set it in purpose, without the womb of a mother and the nurture that innately comes from her carrying a seedling for 9 months thereabouts, and technically 3 trimesters, trimesters, each trimester that they go through, and the way that they care for them. But remembering too that though, and I want to make sure that many mothers who call me, and I've already received calls all night, and I'm sure they'll be going until tomorrow, as they do every year, like clockwork. I need y'all to know this is clockwork. I need y'all to know I'm not coming off my head and just spewing some stuff, but like clockwork, every year, some mother's going to call me and says, my child doesn't respect me, doesn't appreciate me, didn't call me to say Happy Mother's Day, didn't send me flowers, didn't send me a box of roses, didn't send me a box of chocolates, didn't take me out to dinner, and or this, that, or the other, didn't send me a card, didn't make this big, beautiful page on social media to make a collage of my pictures and all the different outfits I've wore to tell the world how much they love me. And innately, we have allowed ourselves to think that that is the norm for being grateful for a mother. And it's not. It's so much superficial. And so to help with the issues of depression I have to deal with when these mothers call, or conversely, another child says, Apostle, I miss my mom. Apostle, I don't know what I can do. My mom's not here now. I have some nieces, and I've got some, my mother today has to deal with, for the first time in her life, and all of her life, not having her mother, who's been on this planet for 97 years.
Yeah.
And for the first time, she, as a matriarch to me, has to wake up and say, I don't have my mother to call. So before we slip into states of, just enjoying the holiday as a facade, I'd like to deal with, if possible, the reality of this holiday as a stabilizer, so you don't end up with a high today and then a low, and somebody being abused because they are in this spiritual quandary that they then cried on someone's shoulder who manipulated that moment into a subconscious subserviency to them. And this is a serious thing. I know y'all didn't expect to talk about it, but I got to be me. You know that. So the source,
you're on time.
So the source to this is to understand that every one of you who have given a child life, it was your body Yahweh used as a conduit to bring the life he intended. And I want to make sure we understand this. On Father's Day and Mother's Day, I do this equally. I do not have a bias. It's Yahweh's child, not yours. The part that I'm glad about, as I told my mother this morning, I'm glad he chose you to bring me through. So to every mother, yes, you should be thanked. And I do. We applaud you because your body went through torture, bringing that hard-headed, greedy, refrigerator raiding, nasty draw leaving, stanky sock leaving, not knowing how to brush their teeth and spittle all over the mirror leaving, toilet dirty leaving. I'm talking about motherhood, y'all. I'm talking about all of those things that go along with it. We thank Yahweh for your patience. We thank Yahweh for your endurance. We thank Yahweh for your training. We thank Yahweh for your cultivating of a life Elohim put in the earth. So Mother's Day is every day. Today, the world says we should have a day for mothers. No, because every day a mother is born. So as we begin to look at the core of why we say Happy Mother's Day, let's understand that mothering is not necessarily happy. We got to deal with the pain of losing a child, the pain of losing a child to drugs, the pain of losing a child to some abusive relationship, the pain of having them go to jail for poor decisions you didn't train them to do, or things maybe as a mother we forgot to do, as a father we forgot to do. So I want to make sure we put it in perspective without it making us go into depression because we may not have the Mother's Day experience we were introduced to when we were born. So mothers, if they don't come and take you to dinner, if they don't send you flowers, they don't send you candy, don't be depressed. Don't covet what someone else has and think that you're missing out. I don't know if that makes sense to many, and you'll probably tune off. And Leslie's lessons learned, I hope that I've not caused any damage to the beautiful women that are coming on your program day to day, listening to you week by week, program by program, without saying to you all that these holidays give us a false sense of a security in this life. Yahweh, you were built to have a child. You built for this. And that's what makes me appreciate the motherhood. One, you built for it, you accepted the assignment, you understood the assignment, and it was not all easy. When the house broke down, you had to hold it together with bubble gum and bobby clips. When the food wasn't in the refrigerator, you had to add water to whatever was left in the refrigerator, stretch it out, add some flour, make some thickening, hope that you can get a couple peanuts to put protein inside of it, and you fed it to the family until things got better. Oh, help me, Ruach. When it got cold, you had to call them children in under your arms and nestle them inside your chest to keep them warm while you took the brunt of the cold over your back. Whether you had a partner to do said or not, that is the reality of mothering. And it's every day, not today. So when we talk about the holidays of man, and if we ever correlate our lives with the holy days, the way we correlate them with the holidays, we'd be able to understand better from the holy days what we're built for. Because it is going to happen. It's happening now. I'm going to get a text from a mother depressed that their child did this wrong thing to them. Dear hearts, we are all instruments in this world of Elohims. We were created to make his praise glorious. A child is not put into the earth to say Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, and it's Mother's Day. A mother is not in the earth to hear her children say this to them. As a matter of fact, that mother should be wanting to hear, well done, daughter. for bringing what I wanted in the earth safely to its destination. And then receive that reward of Yahweh. The reward doesn't come from your children or your husband, ex, or your baby daddy sending you a greeting to say Happy Mother's Day. Now, I'm not taking away from that which is appropriate for every mother to receive. Gratitude. But when it ends up putting you into depression because you didn't get what Sally down the street got, they didn't wash your car and put a bow on it and then put a bonnet on your head and highlight you through church service today with your brand new fuchsia pink outfit and your expensive fake Chanel shoes and said, this is my mother, and brandished you like this wonderful badge of honor. Don't you think Yahweh ain't got you for what you've done for him, mother? See, because I have to deal with the depressed people who at the end of this day are drinking a bottle of wine by themselves and crying incessantly about what they did not get because Clarice got it down the street. I'm sorry, these are my lessons learned. So today, remember, as you go through the holiday, if they say Happy Mother's Day, awesome. Appreciate you. I know what that means. If they don't say Happy Mother's Day, hey, I'm still a mother and I'm happy because I'm happy. Just enjoy the life that Yahweh has given to you. And so one of the things that people don't tend to realize is that we have been sold a bill of lading through these holidays that this is the way it's supposed to be. There was no Mother's Day in Eve's time. There was no Happy Mother's Day in Sariah's time. There was no Happy Mother's Day in Miriam's time, the mother of our Savior. It's the honor that we give to our mothers, not some trinketry of a day and 365 days in a year. It's the appreciation 24/7 for the fact that I either have a memory of that support or I can go back and say to my mother, how can I get through this next situation? And then I got mothers who think that it is their child's responsibility. I raised them, now they got to take care of me. It's my turn to go and it's my turn to be. They're going to take care of me. I brought you in this world. I take you out this world. No, that's murder. And Yahweh going to get you for that. Okay. Yeah. And when we don't really allow ourselves to understand the process of motherhood from Elohim's will, as opposed to understanding the motherhood under the ceremonialisms of holidays, we become depressed when we don't get what was sold in the ceremonialisms. He ain't send me no money to get my manicure, my pedicure. She ain't send me no money to get my hair did. She know my hair nappy be nappy like that, and she know I need to get me some good, some coloring for my hair. I just don't love me. I combed her nappy head, and she was a baby. Put them pigtails in her head and snatched out all that stuff in her head, and just know, mothering is human. And Elohim appointed you as a female. You were built so wonderfully to produce his version of life into the earth. And I salute every female body on this planet who, in fact, built for this, brings forth new life by his will. Don't let yourself get caught up in the facade of Mother's Day and forget the foundation. You're built to be a mother, whether they say thank you or not, whether they buy you dinner or not, whether they pick you up and send you a gift card from Tiffany's or not. You are a mother par excellence. Be happy. Be happy for you. You lived through it. They don't know how much your labor was. Many people who make up their stories about their labor stories, they don't match yours. The uniqueness of your sickness, your morning sickness, the uniqueness of what you had to do with your epidural when it didn't go through, the uniqueness of everything that happened when they had to stop you from having a natural birth to having a C-section, what you went through just to bring that child there. You were built for it by Yahweh himself, and his grace and his mercy brought you through. And to tell another child, you should be glad, you need to thank me and be happy, I'm your mama. Yeah. You might be tipping your hand. And I want to make sure we don't become selfish in thinking we are entitled to say it. When Yahweh built us for much of what we do. That's why I don't celebrate Father's Day the way that men do. I was built for this. I don't need my children to tell me thank you. I need to say thank you to the Father for trusting me to bring a child into this world. I think we got it reversed. Now, I don't want to take away from the joy and the celebrations. Y'all go out and have your little hams. Y'all go out and have your greens. Y'all go out, dress up, put on your linen, child, get your silk on. Leave them twins, Polly and Esther, alone today, though. Y'all gonna be too hot. Y'all flashing too much. You know, you mothers be flashing. And Polly and Esther, y'all think they're your friend, but they're really not. They're gonna have y'all out there sweating. Your mascara gonna be running. Your hair gonna sweat out. You had it all laid out this morning. It's gonna be conked up and curled up underneath at the roots. Y'all don't want to do it. You hear me? But you go and enjoy this day. Go get yourself a nice seltzer water, sit out over some kind of a lake and let your children say, Mom, Dad, I love you. I appreciate you. Let your husband tell you, or your boo thing, or your who thing, or if you're allowed out, whatever it is y'all got going on. Okay, y'all didn't like that, wasn't funny. You know it's the truth though. Okay. All right. So at the end of the day, enjoy the day. Breathe in the fact that society made a decision to honor the mothers, but do not hold your child who may not, because they are selfish within themselves. Understand that you need to be thanked because they might not understand it until they have their own. Am I making sense to anybody, or would you rather me just shut up?
No, you are making sense. You know, today, and everybody that seems to be happy even today because of what the day is supposed to um, represent is still not happy. They might be smiling on the outside and still hurting on the inside. And that was one of the reasons why I was saying our hearts is filled with gratitude. It wasn't about this day, but it was about life, health, and strength, and how Yahweh has provided us that we're still here. No, everybody doesn't have this glorious story with their children or what has they've gone through. A lot, like you said, a lot of people is not happy about today, and you know they'll tell you in a minute what's so great about this day, or I hate this day because of, like you said, what it represents. And because society wants us to get away so much from being grateful for the real reason why we're grateful, they bring these things in to kind of sideswipe us. Everybody wants to be grateful. I mean, everybody wants somebody to appreciate them.
True.
You know, everybody wants someone to say, I'm just grateful that you are my mom. I'm just grateful. I see you pointing your finger.
Yeah, because I want to make sure we understand this. And y'all know me, I got to take this down to the core root of Torah. And you said something very profound, and I don't think we know how prolific it is you said. But when we put it in context, it makes sense. Watch this. Everyone wants someone to appreciate them, right? And the truth is, when Elohim made the human, the only person, the only entity any human should ever have wanted to give appreciation for a job well done is to have Yahweh appreciate us. And now we've diverted that from him to wanting it from them. And it was never designed that way. And you were built to be a mother. You were built to feed them. You were built to milk them. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be graphic about this. It's in you to do it. Why would you say you have to say thank you to someone who needs what you were built to produce, built what you're doing? So now I now pause, because I know them women that took their wigs off already and threw them at the screen. Listen, I want to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. All right. What I'm saying is, Prophetess Leslie makes this point that we all want someone to appreciate us. And the only someone who should ever be responsible for appreciating us is after we've done what he's asked. He says, thank you. Well done. That's the goal of true human intended appreciation. Because the rest of us together, me, you, Wanda, Leslie, whoever else is listening with us, we're workers together. That's why the prayer says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. Not my child's, not my wife's, not my husband's, not my pastor's, not my bishop's. Y'all, I'm sorry, I'm getting in trouble. Please, please. And these are the things we have to understand, that we can get so caught up in wanting praise of the people that we miss attending to the praise of our Father, because he will not be second fiddle. So if I want my wife to praise me and I'm not looking for God's praise of me, I've just relegated myself to a realm that can never appease me. And if we are saying I want my son and my daughter to appreciate me, no, I was built to build a house for you. I was built to make sure food was on the table. I was built to make sure water was running to the house. I was built to make sure that the shingles didn't fall off. I was built to make sure your mama had her hair done. I was built to make sure you had shoes on your feet. I was built for that. You ain't got to thank me for that, because I was chosen to do that. He needs to thank me for that. Oh, I got to shut down. I got to go teach today. Listen. Does that make okay? So Prophetess Leslie, I'm gonna stop.
But just let me take a minute and welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. If you have not hit the like sign or subscribe or whatever the other thing is, share, please do so. This message is vitally important to not just mothers, but to everyone. Those that might be just with child and don't understand the what you're going to have, your responsibility as a mother needs to hear this. Those that feel like their children owe them something because of what they have been created to do, you need to hear this. But one thing I wanted to say, Apostle, about what you was saying was that when the Father created us, he blessed us. He baraked us. He said, this is good. He gave us the recognition. I'm trying to bring it to a point, but my thing is what you were saying about the only recognition we need is from him.
Everyone wants to feel appreciated. I get it, but our appreciation we're seeking from the wrong place.
Right.
Because my children didn't give me an assignment. The Father did.
Right.
And be quite frank, and without y'all know, we're in the Torah now. We're not talking socially about the Happy Birthday, Mother's Day stuff, right? We're in socially. Let's go back to the beginning. We all want to be appreciated, but dear hearts, have we done the job? Did the children give us the job to be born? No, but Yahweh gave us the job of bearing that child. We should wait to hear him say, well done and thank you. He gonna take care of that child, whether you make it through the actual pregnancy or not. That's just a fact. Now you're like, oh, see, that's why I don't like listening to that man. He just tried to be too daggone deep. Listen, when we stop searching for praise from man and we start to obey Elohim's command, all the praise and glory that belongs to you, Yahweh will pour down on you. You won't worry about what anybody else can say. We say that when we about to fight. I don't need nobody. I don't need nothing. I don't need you to think. I don't need you really won't need anything from any external source if we ever please the Father's instructions for why we are here in the earth. Think about it. Yahweh hasn't been able to say, thank you, human, for obeying my commands since Adam. Adam tilled the ground. Adam don't eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Can Yahweh say thank you for that? No, he can't. But he did say thank you to one. The second Adam. That's Yeshua HaMashiach. So we wanting appreciation and adulation from someone was never for our fellow human to give it to us.
And we would save ourselves a lot of heartache if
A
we
whole lot of heartache.
you know, if we understand the fact and put things in perspective. Our perspective is wrong because of how society has created it. We grew up making sure we had, most of us was in those that desire to be able to recognize their mother. It was already put in us. So we act upon, like you said it earlier, we act upon what we know to do.
Mhm.
And because we don't know, that is our responsibility. It was our assignment. And we chose to be in a position to, you know, be a woman that carries children. And I also think about the ones that can't, that are heartbroken from today because they're not able to bear children. There's a lot of women out there that are in so many different areas or so many different sectors. I don't know what you call it, but they are positions, so many different positions. In our mindset, everybody's happy because we're happy. In our mindset, everybody's not really going through a lot because we're not. And I'm not diminishing or belittling the things, because some mothers and parents go through some horrific things with their children, and they don't want to know anything. They don't want to participate in today because of that. So I believe that what you're saying is so important for us to understand, that it's not about the holiday, because that's what it's considered, but it's about what has been put in us and how we've been created to do an assignment.
You know, I find something very interesting too about this is as you bring up the unfortunate medical conditions that a woman may go through, based on diet, based on society, based on normalcy of communal elements. So for the woman who may not have been able to bear a child, I want to make this very, very clear. Disobedience in the garden created the physical inabilities for another womb to be unable to produce. But know this off rip, every woman is a mother. It's innate. Yahweh never made a mistake. Every womb man, the fact that you are a womb man is proof you are a mother. Whether your womb can carry does not subvert the fact every woman is in fact a mother. Society has put in our heads. They formed a box for their own communal purposes of control at some level of hierarchy, put everybody in our community in this box. And therefore, this is what we do, and we'll have a celebration for them, yip-de-yip-de-do, right? And so for those who could not, they're feeling left out, but not realizing that, we have put ourselves in a position of thinking that this is a mind thing. No, please hear me when I say this. Every womb man is built for it. What we've done in society over time, diet, issues, exposures, have made our womb men effective or not effective. But they are all, listen closely, mothers, prepared to be, engineered to be a mother. If a child ever hits their womb, that instinct kicks up and becomes alive, and there is no man on the planet that will not let that motherly instinct come into play.
Yeah.
And you may mother that child until they're to the years of accountability, and then you may walk away like, okay, I did my job. And if you walk away, let me help y'all with this one. Ruach, do I got to do that? Okay. Mothers and fathers, but mothers, once you've raised that child in a secure environment, and should you have taken the opportunities to infuse them with your wisdom from your lessons learned, once they become legally bound for their own necessities, you're no longer a mother. You're a matriarch. Now, before some of y'all get upset with me and think I said something off,
it's real.
because y'all been taught that, but you're a matriarch. You're no longer providing hand to mouth. You have to wait for them to come to you and say, Mom, I need advice on this. Mom, what can I do about this? Mom, I had this experience. And you're like, okay, what would you like me to share with you? See, matriarchy and motherhood are relative, but different. And some of y'all got twisted. You think you're going to be a mother to the day you dead, and you're not. You'll be a grandmother. And even in that, that's matriarchal. Mom is hand to mouth. You're my flesh. You're my blood. And your father and I have you. And this is hand to mouth provision. And once they reach the stage and age of accountability, beyond that, responsibility by your societal settings, you can actually walk away and stop killing yourself. That's my baby. I got to make sure they all right. They ain't no baby no more, Mom.
I promise you, I heard Alicia talking about it one day about a helicopter mom. And I was like, what's that? What's a helicopter mom? And you do have a question, but when I looked it up and began to say, I said, oh, that's me, And the funny thing is I was telling people, oh, well, when they get a certain age, you're a mentor. You're not, dealing with them from a mother's perspective, but the whole time I was doing it, So I understand what you're saying, and it's very valuable because we're not taught that. We're like we're taught we're always mothers, and a lot of us have not shifted because we don't understand the fact of it.
Yeah, that lowers your ceiling. As a womb man who did her assignment from Elohim, and once you've done your assignment, isn't there time to get paid? All right, let me ask this question.
Reward, yes, rewarded.
Paid, rewarded, whatever.
I know you was going to say that.
You go to work, do you get rewarded with a check, or is that the
paid?
Right.
It's Friday night.
That's a contract. If I work 6 days, I expect to get paid. That's a contract, not a reward. And we don't like to think about it, but Yahweh said, I don't have a man to till the ground. So he made man, and in that there was woman. He separated the two, and we are here on contract. It ain't a reward.
Right.
It is the payment for job well done. If you had children, remember the actual contract, the job description was that man would multiply,
replenish.
Forget replenish. That's the garden. Multiply means you. Multiply. Produce yourself. Multiply you in the earth.
Okay.
That's your job. See how that goes? I can't tell you how many Christians just dropped their mouth, not realizing that we thought thou shalt multiply and replenish the earth. Let me go back here.
I thought that's why you stopped. You wanted.
No, I stopped for effect. I'm stopped to make sure that we understand.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
So he tells man here, he says, Elohim blessed them. Let me go to verse 26. Man said, we want to make man in our image and our likeness, and he let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and the cattle and everything like that, right? He then says in verse 28, Elohim blessed the human and said unto the human, be fruitful. Pause.
Yeah.
That's not a reward if you are fruitful. That's a job to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. Replenish the earth is not for the human to replenish humans on the earth. It's to replenish the earth I gave you. Make sure you're tilling the ground, multiplying it, letting it do what it do. But I need you to be fruitful, human. That's a job. And if we do our job, we're built to be fruitful. I'm built to give seed. You're built to push an egg down a fallopian tube and get that seed and then bring it into the actual place of incubation. We're built for this.
That's good.
This is what we're built to do. But we've allowed ourselves in our selfishness and our lack of believing in the God of our creation, which produces those boxes that says, well, we don't believe that part, so we're going to honor this way. And Yahweh is like, I need you to do the job I sent you to do. So womb man, let that sink in. Womb man. That's what a womb does. Y'all not gonna like me. Don't talk about me on Father's Day. I know y'all is. I'm gonna talk about the fathers the same way too.
Look, we might come and invite you so we could talk about you.
Exactly.
But that's good.
Talk about it to my face.
With Noah, when he reset the earth with Noah, he gave Noah and his family the exact same instructions.
Yes.
Yes. Job. Be fruitful. It's a contract by Elohim himself. Then he says, in being fruitful, now you go out and multiply what I gave you. Now you go out and replenish the earth I gave you. And this is where we have taken by creating our own righteousness, because we really have walked away from Elohim way before you and I walked. We were born into a society that was already walking in so many different ways away from Elohim. We found a slot and fit in it, right? But if we were born back, if we realized that our job was to come in, if we ever wanted appreciation from anybody, the only person we should want appreciation from is who gave us the job. We haven't done our job. And some of us didn't even know we had a job. So that's why we're seeking appreciation from places that got nothing to do with our job, because we're not doing our job. We don't know who gave us the assignment. We just, oh, God created the heavens and the earth. Yeah, but he also gave you a job. Well, he just created the heavens and the earth. Jesus loved a little child. Jesus ain't give you no job. Leslie, I'm sorry for the 18
Tiffany says she got 1,000 of questions. She needs an appointment, but this is one of her questions.
Is that Miss Childs? Okay,
hey, there, Rick is on. Alicia is on. Many people are on.
I love you. And Alicia's on too?
From the beginning.
Hey, what's up? Love them families. Love. Happy Mother's Day. And remember, I'm not, please understand, I'm not, as my son would say, poo-pooing on, Mother's Day. I'm just talking in all of our getting. Let's get understanding of where it's gone. And if we keep perpetrating and purporting, the box image of this, rather than understanding the creator's intention of this, we have a problem. Because in this, there is no place my son should give me appreciation. I need appreciation from the Father for bringing my son into the earth.
Doing your job.
For being fruitful and multiplying. You know
Aha.
what's so amazing about that, before you go to your question, because it deals with the command that we were given to be fruitful and multiply, right? Society has made us to believe that you should have 2.5 children. You know,
That's a problem. That goes
absolutely.
against the
And
contract.
you would be amazed by the comments that I would get from people when they realized, when they asked how many children I had, and I had 8. I lost 4, so it would have been, do the
Wow.
math, right?
Trial call Quest. Go ahead. Trial call Wanda.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
it's like, I even had
We were
doctors
built
tell
for
me,
this.
you don't need to have any more children. You need to stop. At number 5, I had a doctor tell me, you don't need to have any more children. You can't afford them. I've had people to say, oh, all you do is lay on your back and have you pregnant again. You pregnant again?
I was
Absolutely.
built for that. You told him I was built for that. That's what Yahweh made me for. I am a womb man. Y'all, just because y'all said woman and y'all put a little lace on it, don't mean that got anything to do with my job. I'm designed to take seed from my man and be fruitful for the sake of what Yahweh put the human in the earth for. Talk about I lay on my back like I'm some kind of freak. Get out of here. I'm married having these children. I am to be fruitful because there is a purpose in the earth that Yahweh has for us to replenish and to multiply in the earth. But you created a societal box. You are trying to, even right now, have climate and population control.
Yes.
And the truth is, we're trying to have population control. That's a box that society put together and said you should only have 2.3 million children because we think the earth and the ground we sit on this continent, on this state, on this nation can only support so much humanity. Well, Elohim would not have said, y'all replenish yourself. Y'all be fruitful. He wouldn't have said that. He didn't have a problem with Noah having, he didn't have a problem with David's dad having, he didn't have a problem with Abraham having 8 children. And what is we talking about? Oh, our own form of righteousness, because we partly believe in God and only believe in him when we look up at the sun and we have a problem we can't fix. And now we want to pray to a God. And y'all don't realize that way before you and me, we think like that too. This has been going on since Adam failed at that tree.
Come on.
But we don't like to talk about that. This is the in all I get and get understanding. Okay, fine. Now we've allowed for Mother's Day. They didn't have an Abraham's Day Mother's Day. They didn't have a Noah's Mother's Day. They didn't have a Jesus's Mother's Day. I'm sorry. They didn't have that. I'm sorry. They didn't have a Father's Day or nothing like that. You know what the Father's Day was?
Sabbath.
Sukkah. You know what Mother's Day was? Shavuot. So miss me with it, because I got to counsel. I'm positive Paige is going to have at least 5 to 6 people I got to counsel today and tomorrow up until Friday, because they were depressed. I missed my mom. They are depressed. My children didn't do me right. They are depressed. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And so for me, as a problem solver, I got to get to the root of the matter. And when you dig to the root, you might not like what you got to expose.
Yeah.
Welcome
so,
to my work.
Listen.
So, question.
This is something I always think about. Minister Wanda, when Minister Wanda was saying, they say all you do is lay on your back. When you're young and having children, they have all these things they want to say about you. But once the children are grown, you're just a person that had children. Oh yeah, she had 8 children, or it's like it changes once the children are grown. You have different. I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's something I think about all the time. How when you're young and you're having children, some out of wedlock, some in wedlock, people got a lot to say. But then you get respect after you've grown, and you don't hear all those negative comments they said when you was having the children. It's just something that I sit down and think about a lot. Wow.
Yeah, because it's the reason you think about it a lot is because of the box that society made. Like even with Torah, we have this thing called welfare, and it is it is it is created to corral people around an ideal for the community, right? But the real sense of Torah's understanding of welfare wasn't the welfare system where you laid on your back to get a check, because that's what they refer to. So when you are, as Wanda, who's never been on that scenario, always had her man and her family supporting her and hers. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a big difference. We ain't in that same category, baby. I was built for this, and Yahweh has provided. It wasn't from the governmental welfare program. It was from Torah's programming. I might not have known it, but me and my man, we made this work. It happened. That's what we got. Our children are good, soundness of mind, and they have gone on now in college, in military, doing their things, making me proud. And one or two of them always got to be a black sheep. But at the end of the day, baby, as you said, Prophetess Leslie, now she's just a woman with a bunch of children. And one of them 8 children will bring great wealth to that family. Y'all gonna listen to this today.
Because I want to hear more about that. Exactly.
That's a whole other conversation, John.
But I do want to hear about you said that about you was talking about the feast, and you were saying that the Sukkot is for men.
The father feast, right?
For the father.
Sukkot is for the father.
And you said that
Shavuot is for, it would be relative to the mother.
One day I want you to
watch, because the mother, the Ruach HaKodesh is the comforter.
I want you to unpack that. Yeah, that's good.
He walks alongside of you, because the comforter, Ruach HaKodesh, is the one who gives you, reminds you of the words of the Father. Y'all gonna get this. And that's what mama's job in the house is. When daddy's away making provisions, mama's home with the children sitting there together. And she's reminding you, your daddy said, you better have this done for your daddy.
That's a whole nother thing, though. Because you got to go into the women and the responsibility in the home. And that's a whole nother conversation. But
it's because of the religious box we created long before any of us were born. By the time we came into this world and your viewers came into this world, we were already in this box, shoved inside of it, deep down inside, with other layers and generations on top of us and beneath us, like a muck and mire. And once we finally broke out the box, we're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and crazy. You in a cult, you don't know what you're talking about. And real talk is, and the whole time this religious box has said, and all you'll get understanding, make yourself approved unto God, become a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And you've been compromised because you stuck in this box, feet in muck and mire. You can't move without somebody saying, okay, move, and we're going to push momentum your way. But the word of Elohim says we should have never been in that box from the beginning. And all the things you get an understanding as to why it exists. My thing is understanding for the human, particularly in America, why we are in this box that keeps people down and elevates other people. And none of that has to do with Torah. It has to do with creating a box that you now can give an edict to. Even though Elohim has a superseding edict, they can superimpose their own. And now we fall subject to it because we were born into it. And you know what? We can make sure everybody gets eaten. You know, we can make sure everybody get water. We can make sure everybody get medicine. But y'all got to do it our way. The Industrial Revolution was the prototype for this foolishness of building a box. And we talk about being outside the box and don't even know what we're saying. But it's a real saying. So when we talk about Mother's Day and Father's Day and all these halai days, as opposed to holy days, we put ourselves in lesser of a category to find the empowerments and the enrichments we need to be everything and living our best lives and going back and forth. So at the end of the day, my bad. We got a question on the platform.
This is from Tiffany, and she says, if I are not searching, looking for, or desiring the praise or the honor of others, but it comes to us, should we not accept it?
Absolutely. The Bible says, watch this. Can y'all say,
Tiffany,
I hope she's there. You can let her know, because I really want her to get this, because that's been up there a while. She might be
I know
mad
she's
at us.
traveling today, so
Teen Child's mad at us. continue. Is they there? Are they still out
I
there?
think
Please
Rick
be
is.
out.
I'm not sure about Tiffany.
But they can get the replay too, if you answer.
You
They
got
can
what?
hear it on the replay as well.
Yeah, but I want to make sure they get it, because when the people that ask the question when they're on the platform, the whole answer comes out. It's a different thing. It's a vibing thing. It's a spiritual thing. All right, so man, I hope I didn't miss them. All right, so make sure y'all know that they got this answer. Your gift. Oh, she says nope. I logged off.
There,
She's being funny.
Okay.
she answered you. She's there.
She's being funny. She needs that appointment, Apostle.
And I'm sitting here. I'm like, nope, she logged off.
Right now.
Tiffany's. Okay, I'm Paige. Get her on the books. Listen to your question. Put the question back up there so the world can see the question, please.
Let me go back to it.
All right. So to your question, Tiffany, I'm going to say yes, you can accept it. But here is why you accept it. Remember, we talked about everybody has a job. A womb man's job is to bear children and till the ground, right? The man's job is to produce, right? And till the ground, right? So if someone, though you're not looking for it, comes up and says, I appreciate the work you do. What you do makes the world better for us. I just want to say thank you. Right? Now, this where y'all get mad at me. That's proper appreciation because it wasn't sought after by the producer. Why? Because your job, womb man, is to create children. Right? Now, here's the next piece to that. Watch this. Your gift, your job, will make room for you. Now, you go finish that scripture. Google it. I'm not going to do it for you. Your gift will make room for you. So if your gift, and you're doing it, when you're doing your gift, your job, then people will see your good works and they will glorify our Father, which is in heaven, and thank you for showing them the way to the Father. And then ask you, how can I be down? Right? So yes, it's okay if you're not searching for it or you're not desiring it, but you are desiring to do your job. See, the problem that I'm referencing here in a non-combative way about our holidays is that when we have the holiday, we're looking for appreciation. Oops. We're desiring. It's the holiday. I'm expecting everybody to take me, give me showers. I'm looking for, how many of y'all right now checking your emails to see how many gift cards and viral virtual coupons have been sent to you? How many flowers have come to your door? How many of y'all looking today? How many are looking today for somebody to say Happy Mother's Day? Because today you're looking for it. Does that make sense, y'all? But when someone can come and say, you know what, Miss Wanda, you got more children than our box say we should have, but hey, I see your children in the streets. I saw your sons helping this lady across the street. I saw your daughters braiding the hair of some other people in the playground. I saw one of the girls pull an actual skirt out of their bag because another girl fell in the mud and give it to her. Wanda, thank you for your children. That indicts the way you've done what you've done and what you've instilled in them is praiseworthy and thankworthy, but you didn't look for that praise. It's just what you did. Your gift, your job made room for you. And if someone comes and says, hey, I appreciate you. You know what? You're a blessing to our society. You're a blessing to our community. You're a blessing to our neighborhood. And your children are just like you. This is, you know what? I just want to say, because ain't nobody else going to tell you, child, you did a good job. You weren't looking for that. All you were doing was feeding them children, teaching them what's right and wrong, showing them how to take care of other people and not be selfish. Your gift made room for you. So to Tiffany Childs, I know Team Childs gets this, and I hope that was, though shallow, understandable. Oh, okay, cool.
So we have come to, but let me just say this, and I know that it's kind of cliche for this time of the year, but
Oh, you said somebody sent you about a cliche? Is that what you just said? Somebody
I hope
sent
it
you
smells
cliche.
good when I get it.
It's nice, it's nice perfume. Yeah.
Proverbs 31.
See, you know. You know. You know.
Ooh. Ooh.
No.
Only one thing I want to say.
I'm going on mute and I'm cutting my camera off.
I know.
Cut your camera off, Picasso, so they can't see your face.
But you know, you said
And the problem is they're gonna be preaching Proverbs 31 all day today. That's my problem. Everybody
what I
gonna teach
said.
Proverbs
It's gonna
31 today. Like,
But
they
one
are
thing
what
you
that is.
said,
Oh my
you
God.
said it. You said it says that your husband will talk about you at the gates. Your children will raise you up. That's the part I'm talking about. She didn't do it because of Mother's Day, and her lifestyle was work. What she was
Mhm.
created to do, she did, and that's why I was like,
Mhm.
I know this is a cliche, but as I'm hearing you talk,
Mhm.
I'm hearing
Mhm.
this woman, even though there's so much more that's included in that, and it's so powerful.
Right. So when it says your husband will talk about you and your children will honor you in that Proverbs 31 issue, it wasn't on May the 11th or second. It wasn't second week of May every year. They did that every daggone day. Mom baked some biscuits. Man, my wife can make some biscuits. Boy, you right, your wife make a biscuit. Can she bring me one? No, Negro, that's my woman. What is wrong with you? Get yours to do yours. You know, that's not how that went down. You know what I'm saying? Hey, mom, your husband will talk about you in the gate. The elders will talk about how she is, in fact, and add to the value. That's an everyday thing. It ain't the second week of May every year.
And you know, we get stuck right there on that part, but we're going because you got somewhere to go. But the part that the beginning of it, you know, the part where the mother is telling the son what to look for, you know, that I'm not gonna get into it. And
yeah, Proverbs 31 is a woman telling her son what she should look for. And I dare say this without getting in trouble. You brought this up. It's on your program. I did not incite this. Just because you read Proverb 31 don't mean you're a Proverb 31 woman. I don't care how much you screaming and put your lace on your little handkerchief and put your heels on and wipe the sweat off your brow when you preach it. Proverb, just because you can read don't mean you're a proverb.
Well, you built for it. Can
you built to be
do what you've been called to do? Are you willing?
Now let me be serious. You are built for it. But because of Adam's failure, we think because we have our own free will, we can do whatever we want. You are built to be that Proverb 31 woman. The reason she has to tell him, because this man got a whole bunch of women and none of them, 1,000 women, match what she's talking about. Nobody wants to read that part. That's Solomon's mother talking to Solomon, who got 1,000 women. And she's like, none of them are this.
And but the good thing of the balance was the balance was she told him how to act as well.
Because she is a woman of virtue.
Right.
And so she is saying in her lessons learned, and otherwise, here is what a woman in her proper job from the creator's intention should be with a partner who has a job from creator's intention. This is what it looks like. This is what it will produce. And ain't nobody you got in your camp right now doing this. So until you find this, don't think you found a virtuous woman. Read the thing. Just go back and read it and stop listening to who preached it to you.
Right.
Go back and read it for yourself and look what that woman is telling him.
And she telling him to act right.
Yeah, that's a mom.
Don't be out there,
Right.
you know. and that we miss all that though, because we're just so keyed in on the virtuous woman and not really, it's just a saying. It's just a saying, but we're going to let you go. We're going to go.
Okay.
Because you have another.
I got to go teach. Yeah, I got to get ready. Get out of here. Get to next.
We appreciate the pop-up, you showing up today and just pouring into us as women, showing us and telling us what we need to do as women and how to understand our role. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And please let me say this as a caveat before I leave. I am no way not saying you mothers do not deserve to be appreciated. It is a great thing that the holiday does make effort to represent and say, because everybody's so busy, hey, let's take time to say Happy Mother's Day to mothers or whatever else, right? But Happy Mother's Day to mothers. I do say, I hope that every mother who has literally sacrificed their life to bring forth life, I do pray you have found happiness in what you have been allowed to bring forth. And I do wish every mother a happy Mother's Day. In this program, we were just talking about the in all you're getting, get understanding of it all. Because in these holidays, ill-perceived depression, I got to dig a lot of people out of dark caves. I got to pull them out of deep waters because of the ill-perceived ideology of the holiday. So for me to bring foundation for everyone and anyone is my only goal. It's my job. It's my calling. But it doesn't demean the fact that, yes, we appreciate you mothers. Without you, we don't have civilization. But at the same time, you were built for this. And if Yahweh isn't the one giving you thanks for it, which he wants to do every Sabbath, who have we made our God? But I do say this, Happy Mother's Day. I mean it from my heart. We were just having a study. So if y'all don't want to ever study, don't call me. Okay, y'all want me to just be pretty and be PC, call somebody else. But we're going to study the foundations of what we do. Leslie's Lessons Learned. I'm so honored you would have me on here. I hope that those 18 people that will no longer view you from this conversation forgive you and come back to you. Wanda, and all that you do and your little bit of hair you do, and let's talk about it, sit in my chair. I hope, in fact, that they keep that robe and that apron on and keep coming back and letting you teach them about how to grow not only hair, but your spiritual person in the faith of Elohim's kingdom. And I will gracefully bow out. Shalom to all.
Shalom. Thank you so much. I don't know if you want to pray us out or you just prayed us out with your words of encouragement, but
we can do it if you like. The Bible declares that Yahweh told Moshe and Aaron, when you have taught the people my will and my way, and they look as if they are accepting it and want to comply going forward, I desire, says Yahweh, you and Aaron close out the service by putting my name on them, and I, Yahweh, will help them do what they just learned. Here is the prayer. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahweh lift his countenance up on you and grant you all 13 attributes of his shalom. This we pray in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Go in Elohim's peace. Shalom.
Shalom, everyone. Have an amazing day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yes, yes. Enjoy your day.